Welcome back to another episode of Josh Reviews Brad. Now today, we're going to have a look at Coffee Expert reacts to Brad Pitt's weird coffee commercial with James Hoffman. Now, this is a really weird video, really weird. And I know I don't normally do react style videos. You have a channel this small talking about a commercial with Brad Pitt in it. It's very interesting. And we'll get into this video and you'll see why.
Today, we're going to have a look at the new commercial for DeLonghi with Brad Pitt in it, which is a really weird commercial. Like, it's really weird. I know I don't usually do React-style videos, but when you have a company this big partnering with a movie star that big to say something about coffee, to communicate something about coffee, I think that's kind of interesting. Now, as you look at the commercial, we're going to watch it in a second, you can see just a big old blue anamorphic lens flare. This video...
Okay, first off the bat, there's no fucking flare. I don't know what he's talking about, but there's no flare.
Now, it's a pretty short commercial. It's like 60 seconds long. I'm going to interrupt it a ton. I apologize for that because a lot of it just asks more questions than I have answers for. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird stuff.
Okay, what questions could he possibly want answered? It's a 60-second coffee commercial. I'm just confused.
Now, some of it's a bit nitpicky. I'm not going to get all cynical about this, but some stuff in here bothers me from a kind of continuity perspective. Anyway, let's start watching it. It'll make more sense. Now, I kind of feel like the whole like motorcycle coffee thing, that particular trope, is a little tired.
What the fuck is he talking about? Motorcycle coffee trope? I watched all of Sons of Anarchy. They drink coffee in that show maybe 4 times.
Did the whole like guys who are really into motorbikes being really into coffee and beards and that kind of thing. I feel like that particular trope within coffee, like, I'm not saying you can't enjoy coffee if you like a motorcycle. I'm just saying that trope is kind of done. And it's kind of interesting that this is more about like a Brad Pitt slice of life. This is how Brad lives his day and he wants you to know.
Don't fucking call him Brad. He's Brad Pitt to you. You don't know him. I know Brad. You don't.
Now, straight into the coffee bit, which is very exciting for me. This, for me, brings us to one of the great bizarre decisions of this commercial. So he gets his coffee and he puts it down, and this is just weird, right? Yes, if you go to Starbucks and you order a drink, they might ask your name and they'd put your name on the cup and then write underneath what your order is, because they're busy and they want to make sure you get the right drink and you can't just look at a cup and know what it is. So for some reason, the guy has written Brad's name on the bag of coffee.
He's Brad Pitt.
Coffee. There's no one else here. There's no one else in the line. There's not a busy place. He's just written Brad's name, which in the world of celebrities, they're not always super into that. You know what I mean? They're not into like, oh, hi, Brad. We're friends now because you buy coffee from me.
He's just making shit up.
Not always the vibe. Sometimes the vibe, but not always the vibe.
What do you mean?
What I love even more.
When I go to a place, people call me Josh. They don't say my last name. This guy is just making shit up.
Then writing his name on it for no good reason whatsoever is what he's written underneath. Now, it's hard to see in the video what he's written. Thankfully, all of the kind of images for the websites and that kind of stuff, well, they've photoshopped it to make it very clear. It says fresh coffee beans. Someone thinks someone else is an idiot.
Why do they think that someone's an idiot? It just says what's in the bag on the bag. That's like not a weird thing at all. Have you ever been to any place ever where they ask for a name and they write what's on it? If you go to Starbucks and you order a black coffee, they ask you for a name and they write black coffee on it. This is not a weird thing. Also, this is a commercial. I'm sure they didn't think, oh, I wonder if we should write Brazilian blend on this. They just wrote fresh coffee beans. It's a commercial and it's trying to be relatable. They didn't need to get into the specifics of it. They just need to write what's on the bag, what's in the bag. I fucked that up, but you know what I mean.
Now, it could be that the guy behind the bar thinks Brad's an idiot, and he might take this unmarked brown paper bag and be genuinely confused about what's inside.
Okay, he's calling Brad an idiot now. I mean, it's insane.
Despite the fact that he went and bought it, because fresh coffee beans is not useful information. Is it? It's not what the coffee is. It's not like House Espresso or like a nice Kenyan coffee or some estate name. It's just fresh coffee beans.
It's a commercial.
You would never write that on the side of a bag of coffee.
What the fuck?
Never ever. It's like you'd write cup of coffee on the side of a cup of coffee. You just wouldn't do it. It might be more likely that they think you, the audience, is an idiot. And you wouldn't know what this was. Despite the fact that you watched the coffee beans go in the bag, you'd still be confused by what this brown paper bag that Brad has bought is full of. It's just a really lazy, weird decision that kind of should be a singular moment that just goes away, right? Like they made a one decision and it goes away, but it doesn't go away. It gets even weirder. Brad's very happy. Now, William Bradley Pitt, your net worth is like $300 million. I'm confident that you can afford a bag that fits your bag of coffee inside it, and that it doesn't leave the bit with your name sticking out the back.
Okay, this is also another crazy, wild point that he's making here that is baseless and just kind of fucking stupid. He's saying that Brad, because he's wealthy, should be able to afford a bigger bag. Maybe he just likes the way that bag feels on his shoulder. Maybe he likes the way that it's kind of weightless when he's on the bike and it just kind of goes with his body. It doesn't hold him back in any way. It doesn't feel like a heaviness. I don't understand this whole thing of like, oh, you have more money, so you should have a bigger bag. It's fucking stupid. You're just making shit up. You just want ad revenue for this 10-minute video on a 60-second commercial. You're insane.
Different way. What else is in your bag? Because you don't go and buy pastries, and as one of cinema's greatest eaters, I'm kind of disappointed that you don't eat anything in this commercial with your coffee, but
I'm disappointed that you're not shoving rocks in your mouth. Right?
Why has he got the top of the bag stuck out of his bag as he rides away?
Well, this is an interesting point that he made, and I'm going to say the same thing I've said before. Again, it is a commercial. You know? It's all about branding. If I saw someone and I didn't know it was Brad Pitt and they were riding a motorcycle and had a bag of coffee that was maybe a fifth out of the bag, I would not think anything of it. I would say, oh, okay, yeah, that's something. I'd go about my day. I'd go get, Eggs Benedict somewhere. I don't understand why this is so weird to him. Maybe where he lives, he's never seen someone actually, have a bag that's kind of full. Or maybe he just assumes that everyone goes out with a giant, burlap sack and just throws shit in it and carries it around. I don't really know what the point he's trying to make is, but it's really fucking stupid.
Now, this scene is the most confusing to me by far. What exactly is happening here? It looks like Brad has gone to sit bored, full of ennui, in a kind of regal pose. And what's kind of more upsetting to me is that the guy working on the motorbike is drinking a cup of coffee. Brad is not. Brad, passive-aggressively, has left his bag of coffee poking out of his bag as if to say, oh no, I like coffee, I just don't like your coffee.
Okay, this is another really fucking stupid point. In this scene that he's talking about, Brad is just sitting in a chair and someone's working on his bike. And the guy working on his bike, the mechanic, is drinking coffee. And Brad's not. And that's not weird at all because maybe, and here's just something that, might be wild to say. Maybe Brad doesn't want coffee at this very moment. Whenever I go to the store and I buy a bag of coffee, I'm not just eager to go home and drink it. No, I buy it so that I can have it in the morning or in the evening, whenever I want coffee. It's not like crack where I need it right then and there. I'm not going to score an 8-ball. I'm going to get a bag of coffee. You see? So this is something that he's just, again, making up to complain about. Like, this isn't weird at all. And again, he's going to complain about how Brad's sitting there and he's looking bored. He's looking like a person. Like, if you're getting your car washed, you have to wait in the lobby. You would just sit down like this and just wait, Not everyone has to be glued to their phone or fucking bothering the person doing their job. Maybe Brad is just polite and just wanted to sit down and take a little seat,
But even just the vibe of Brad spends his day in the corner of a shop watching a dude work on his bike for him while looking kind of bored. That's just like a really weird scene. I just don't understand why this is there. There's no down-to-earth Brad here. There's no, hey, I'm a normal guy Brad. It's I'm going to watch you work on my motorbike, and I'm going to be bored by it. Anyway, Brad is off, again, for no reason, to pump some gas. Now, again, this scene maybe suggests that Brad is an everyman. Brad pumps his own gas.
Who the fuck doesn't pump their own gas? I mean, I'm sure if your state doesn't allow that, but everyone pumps their own gas. What is he talking about? Why does this make Brad an everyman? Everybody pumps their own gas. Why would he not pump his own gas? He's obviously going to want $10 on pump 6 and a pack of Reds. He's not going to pay some guy, be like, hey, come pump my gas. It's insane.
They pull focus onto the bag with his name on it. Again.
Well, it's a
They're
commercial.
like, look, he's still got the coffee. He's still carrying it around unnecessarily in a bag that it could clearly fit comfortably inside.
It's gonna be
He has left
branding.
it
They're
poking
doing
out so that people
intentionally.
around the gas station, they know it's Brad, as if they couldn't tell who this handsome man is. Why is this shot
you.
there? Anyway. The best news here is that Brad makes, I think, a good decision. He goes for the cappuccino mix. Now, you and me, we've probably never ordered a cappuccino mix because we've never had a machine like this. I do enjoy that this is his face of anticipation. Kind of mild confusion or disgust.
Okay, mild confusion or disgust. This is just Brad's face. He's just looking. He's just staring at it. This is just how his face looks. He's not making any emotion whatsoever at all.
I don't quite know what it is. He looks unsettled by what's happening. He doesn't look
the same
appetized.
as he looks
but
every time
that'll
you see
happen in a
him.
minute, I guess. And so Brad gets his cappuccino. Lordy, he's a vascular man.
Yeah, unlike you.
And he has an evening cappuccino, which apparently is best described by DeLonghi themselves as perfetto. So there we have, you can see like a little espresso, a little latte macchiato, and Brad's apparently still full bag of fresh coffee beans. Fresh coffee beans. They're so proud of that. It's on all the kind of images on the website and stuff. Super, super weird. And that's Brad Pitt's coffee commercial. I don't understand it. I know that the very top line here is like, Brad Pitt, he's Brad Pitt, and he has a DeLonghi, so you should get a DeLonghi. I get that. That's kind of the big message of the ad. I get that. But the way that they've done it, to me, just makes no sense. I find it a really confusing set of decisions, and I'm aware, saying this publicly to you, maybe some of you see these decisions and are like, no, that makes total sense. Of course they would write fresh coffee beans, because no shop ever has done that ever in the history of ever.
No shop has done that ever in the... Who the fuck talks like that? What are you talking about? What?
No. They would totally write that.
Yes, they would.
This is not a slight against DeLonghi, I should say. I've never used this machine, but I have no idea. I'm not judging the quality of coffee here. I'm not judging the machine. I'm just saying that Damien Chazelle and Brad Pitt made a super weird commercial for a coffee machine, and I don't understand it.
I don't understand this video. I don't know why someone would turn a 60-second video into a, 10-minute video. So he made a 10-minute video based on a 60-second commercial that is, again, a commercial. And he's complaining about things that really aren't real. I mean, he's just making shit up. He's saying shit like no one writes what's on the bag when you buy it. My point is, I think that this man is insane, and I just don't understand it. I don't get why he's so angry about this. First of all, this commercial was it was not a very popular commercial. I saw it on YouTube maybe once, but it wasn't like a big thing. Like, he went and found this. I found it because I look for Brad stuff all the time, but he found this because he's clinically insane. Anyway, I think that he is pointless, and I think that he is a shrill shrub of a human being. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Anyway, I got someone to make an image of me in Minecraft entirely out of Minecraft blocks, and I think that's pretty cool, and I think you guys might like it too, so I'll put that up at the end of the video. And we've got more stuff coming for you guys. I took a 2-year sabbatical, but I'm back. I'm fresh. I'm ready. I'm more Brad than ever now. So we'll be back. We'll be back soon. And yeah, James Hoffman. What a guy. Real knucklehead. Not the brightest bulb. Anyway, everybody, have a great day.